What is poppin', fish keepers? Good morning. So it's been an absolutely crazy week for me. I've been out in Louisville, Kentucky, dealing with a lot of craziness, but having a lot of fun. And this morning woke up to a little bit of dreary weather. It's been raining out. Went ahead and got a haircut. Should trim up this beard. Looking a little scraggly, a little rough. But today we're gonna be doing a couple projects in the fish room, having some fun. And project number one is going to my favorite place, Music City Aquatics, and picking up a couple assassin snails, as I'm going to put one assassin snail in every one of my tanks to eliminate any of the pest snails I have in there, to keep the tanks a little bit cleaner. So we're going to be throwing them in our shrimp tank. Some people freak out and like, assassin snails are going to kill off my shrimp population. They won't do that. As long as you don't have a crazy amount of assassin snails in there, you should be totally fine. The shrimp move a lot faster than assassin snails do. So really, assassin snails, if you see assassin snail eating a shrimp, it's probably because that shrimp had already died. So let's go pick them up and let's get this day going. All right, Music City Aquatics. This is run by Alec and Brandon. So let's go see what they have today. Just got back from the fish store, picked up some Java moss, 6 Kubosha, like green rasboras. They're gonna go in the green tank with my green shrimp. So if I butchered that name, I'm sorry. Fish I just saw today and I was like, oh, it looks pretty cool, let's give it a shot. So we're gonna try it out, see if maybe we can get it breeding. And then picked up 6 assassin snails as well and 3 pygmy cories. I got more pygmy cories in my 75-gallon tank. I'm thinking about putting some pygmy cories in one of these nano tanks to see if maybe I can get them to start breeding, which would be kind of cool. So I'm probably gonna give that a shot as well, put it in one of my 10-gallon tanks, see what I can do there. As you guys know, last video, if you watched, a lot of good feedback. So thank you guys for those of you who commented on the last one. I need to get a mic because there's a little bit of a humming noise here in the background. So get a mic, hopefully eliminate some of that. But the angelfish are actually doing really well. So I'll show you guys those today as well. So let's do this. Let's get these things acclimated and get them in. We're gonna put 1 assassin snail in each tank. All right, so you can see my cherry shrimp tank. Put an assassin snail in here. You can see we got some pest snails, like bladder snails all throughout. And overall, population's doing really well. So 1 assassin snail in every tank to help control the pest snail population. Java moss is doing well, and we got the octopus plant in here. Marimo moss ball in my blue tank. The yellow ones are going crazy. They're really popping right now. If you look on the moss ball right here, you can see some of the baby shrimp right now. 6 buried females in here, so this tank is really starting to explode and come together, which is great. It took me a while to get these to start breeding. I've had them for about 3 or 4 months and finally they're taking off. So I got that one set up. The orange tank, got a couple babies in here. You can see we got the orange shrimp hiding out down below the leaf, inside the cave. Moss is doing well. Overall, tank's doing pretty good. I'm probably gonna put some Celestial Pearl Danios in here for a bit and try to get them to breed and get those going. This is my green jade shrimp tank. You can see a little green jade shrimp over here on the left. And then we just put these new green rasboras in here. I'm gonna add some more plants. We got 1 assassin snail added in there to control the population. But we're gonna add some more plants and see if I can get these green rasboras to start breeding and get these going as well. They just got in here, so they're not colored up yet, but they got a really cool green, neon green coloration. Once they get more comfortable, it'll be kind of cool to see them color up. This is the killifish tank. Australian Gold Killie. Love this guy, he is absolutely beautiful. Got this other one, it looks like it has a swim bladder issue, so it just hangs out at the bottom, and then we got the female hiding out in the back over here, coming up towards the front towards us as well. And then this tank is kind of cool. If you guys can see, this is my coal tank. I just throw random shrimp that aren't up to my standard in here, and then I sell them off for cheap. But you can see we got a ton of baby Mexican dwarf crayfish in here, and then the adult crayfish are hiding out in their caves. So I need to grab some of these baby crayfish and probably throw them in another tank and grow them out. So I'm excited to get those going as well. Angelfish are still in quarantine. They're hanging out over here, doing well, eating well. So we're gonna feed all these guys here soon. One other thing I wanted to show you is my setup. So let me readjust and I'll show you my whole setup here. All right, so you can see I got this idea for a fish room. I painted my garage, all the walls are black. So I painted my garage black to kind of give it a better look. But I installed this Cobalt 84-inch by 84-inch garage rack. And I've adjusted the heights where I'm gonna do 10-gallon tanks on every single part of the rack. I just have the 20 gallons here for the quarantine tank with these angelfish I rescued. And then down below, we have the little spot for all my accessories, boxes for everything that I ship out. So I got the rack, it's 84 inches by 84 to support the tanks because these metal shelving units aren't strong enough to hold the water. I've installed, and I painted it black, 1/2 inch. You want to do either 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch plywood, but I did 1/2 inch and it's been working great for the 10-gallon tanks. So I did 1/2 inch plywood here. Then I used aquarium co-op lights on the top. So the one on the right is a 48-inch light. The one on the left is a 30-inch light. And then I used heavy duty zip ties to attach it to the metal part of the stand. And it's been working perfectly. So it's been great. So that's kind of the basic setup there. I painted all the tanks black. As you guys can see, tanks sides are painted black. I've installed in the aqua soil at the bottom of each tank. I like doing that just because of black on black. It does cause, if you notice, one issue I do run into is a little bit of algae growth at the bottom. I've noticed that with the aqua soil, it tends to happen. So maybe doing a black sand might be something I try on row 2 down here. But overall, this setup has been working really well. I just kind of came up with it myself. The next thing I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be drilling tanks. So for the second row, when I do, I'm gonna be painting the plywood down below. And then I'm gonna be drilling all the 10-gallon tanks and setting up an automatic water change system. So at the very top, I'm gonna be setting up 2 20-gallon long tanks, drill those, and that will be my water system that I'm gonna attach up to my outdoor faucet so I can easily fill it up, and then it will drip down into the tanks up top here, and then I'll have an automatic water overflow that'll flow outside the garage. Probably drill a hole in my house so it can flow outside and drain out and away from the house. So that's the basic game plan. As you guys can tell, I use all aquarium co-op stuff as much as possible. Pretty much all my plants, the heaters, lights, shrimp caves, the other kind of caves, everything is aquarium co-op. I use their food, literally everything I can I'll use. And I got a bunch of extra supplies here from selling fish and shrimp to Music City Aquatics and other local fish stores. I get store credit, which then I use to grab more stuff like auto feeders, water test strips, glue, algae sponges, the catappa leaves. I'm gonna be playing around with doing some baby brine shrimp. So I'm gonna play around with that too. I haven't done that yet. I also picked up the baby brine shrimp eggs. So we got those hanging out in here. So I got bloodworms that I feed once in a while. Been playing around with that. Got to be careful with those. And then I got the brine shrimp eggs. So got those in my freezer. Those are gonna be some new projects I'm gonna test out. But yeah, that's my rack. Let me show you guys the back end of it as well. So a couple things I did is I got some plywood 2x4s and I attached the 2x4s together to create a backdrop so that I can hide all the cables. So if you guys notice, up top here, I've been able to get all the cables hidden. I did that through creating this 2x4 plywood backdrop, okay? And then I attached on a sheet as well. And the sheet can be removed so I can access the air pumps. So we can remove it right here on this side, and then we can come over here and remove it as well. And that will allow me to access everything. And if you look back here, if I can get it to focus, we got the aquarium co-op backup, battery backup, sponge filter pumps. We got to make sure it doesn't backflow. We got little knobs on there to adjust the airflow. So I got that set up for every single tank back here. So if I need to access anything, all I have to do is detach the cloth. I went ahead and attached power strips up back here as well. This is where I have all my heaters, lights. I got the automatic Wi-Fi Amazon timers on here, smart plugs, so my lights turn on and off at 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. every single day automatically for me. So I just attach those in back here so they're all hidden away. So eventually this whole setup back here, we'll be doing the exact same thing for row 2 and row 3 so that all the wires and everything back here is hidden. And when I get the water change system set up as well, it'll be hidden as well. But it just creates a nice, good, clean environment. As you can see, all my pumps and backup. So if the power goes out, we're good there. I just need to get something in case the power goes out when it's cold. I need to get like a generator to be able to continue to pump heat inside this room. So more projects to do, but that's the basic setup. I'll come out with a video, and as I continue to build it, step-by-step guide in case you guys want to do the same type of thing as well. So we're gonna try to start breeding celestial pearl danios as well. So gathered some, really think this is a mixture of like pearlweed and guppy grass. And we're gonna throw it in here. I got some more Java moss. What I'm gonna do is we're gonna turn the temperature up a little bit in this tank. We're gonna put the celestial pearl danios in here for about a week, get them used to it for the next couple days. Carefully feed them some bloodworms, get them nice and fat, get them spawning. Once they spawn, I'm gonna move them back to the original tank and see if we can raise up some celestial pearl danio fry. So let's do this. We're going to move this moss right back over in here. A nice little clump of moss. We've got multiple places for them to spawn all throughout the tank. Now I just got to turn the heat up. And that should be set right where they need it. Perfect. All right, we're gonna give it a second. We'll go grab one. All right, got 6 of them. I have at least 8, but couldn't catch the other ones. They were hiding pretty well. So we're gonna throw all these into the tank. Some of my favorite fish, probably my favorite fish I have. They're just super beautiful. So we're gonna see if we can get these breeding here. Tank's cleaned, refilled, fish in. So we're gonna go ahead and feed them. I feed my shrimp 3 main things. So I do the Hikari mini algae wafers. I do a little bit of Bacter AE. So I feed this daily. Depending on the quantity of shrimp I have in the tank, I'll do anywhere from 1 of these to 3. I do Bacter AE 2 to 3 times a week, just a very, very small amount, toothpick size amount in each tank. And then I do Mineral Junkie right here about twice a week, 2 to 3 times a week. I'll add a little bit of minerals. Following this protocol, I've really had 0 failed molts and very high success rates with my shrimp. On top of that, I make sure I have catappa leaves in each tank. I have Java moss and other plants in places for biofilm to grow. I also don't clean the back sides of my tanks, sides or back. I just clean the front of the glass, that's it. So I want lots of algae, I want lots of biofilm everywhere so they can graze on it all day. So we're gonna feed these to the shrimp. And then for the crayfish, I add in a little bit of a protein wafer. So I'll feed that to the Mexican dwarf crayfish I have over here. Magic Nano Feed, I kind of use this a little bit like Bacter AE for shrimp, but I mainly use it for my killifish. I throw it in my Mexican dwarf crayfish tank, and then I'm gonna start feeding it with these green reservoirs and the celestial pearl danios that we're getting ready to try and breed. See if we can get those going. I'm gonna be feeding them some of this, nice easy stuff, and then a bit of bloodworms, frozen dried bloodworms for the Australian gold killifish as well. So let's go ahead and feed these guys. So my cherry tank, I have probably a couple hundred in there probably right now. So usually I do about 3 algae wafers. They eat that up throughout the day pretty quickly. So we're gonna throw 3 in here. All right, we're gonna throw 2 algae wafers in my blue velvet tank as I have less. I have a ton of these yellow shrimp, and this is the one that out here in Tennessee right now, not a lot of people have, and man, there's a bunch of babies in here, so I'm super excited. I'll get close-ups for this for all of you guys. We're doing 1 algae wafer in the orange tank, orange shrimp tank. We go 1 algae wafer because we have only about 8 of each in the green tank, and then we're doing the Mexican dwarf crayfish tank. We're doing 1 algae wafer, and then we're going to do 1 protein wafer. So 1 algae wafer, 1 in. Algae done. Oh, he's hungry. The little Mexican dwarf crayfish here is going crazy right now for this food. My goodness. All right, we're going to throw a second algae wafer there because of how hungry he's acting. I was gone on a trip all week. He might be slightly underfed. So we're gonna go ahead and throw a second one in there because he doesn't normally act that crazy over the food. We're gonna throw a second in there, okay? Now we're gonna go through and add Mineral Junkie. I like to break these in half. So this is what it looks like. These white little kernels. I like to break them in half and mix them up through here. So I do 3 in the cherry shrimp tank. Spread them out so everybody gets some. We're gonna do 2 in the blue velvet. Once again, 3 in the yellow. And I have a whole shrimp feeding guide on my website. So if you need a little bit of advice on how to feed your shrimp, this method I found actually has worked pretty good. So half of a stick for the green, half for the orange. And we're going to split this one up with the Mexican dwarf crayfish as well. Okay. That is done. Now we do Bacter AE, okay? A little goes a long way with this stuff. Don't overdose it, it will cause a ton of hair already. But I get one of those little toothpicks. You guys can see, I dip this in the water, then I dip it in the powder. Okay? And this biofilm powder goes everywhere, really helps stimulate the shrimp to start breeding, helps the babies have biofilm to eat. And I've found, like I said, very good success rate with this feeding style and method. Okay. The little green reservoirs are super hungry. They're getting fired up. All right, back to ready eating in all the tanks. Now, if you have baby fish and shrimp, they'll also eat the baby fish will also eat the bottom as well, I found. Okay. All right, Magic Nano Feed is what it used to be called. Now it's Magic Small Feed because Nano is copyrighted. But we're gonna put a little bit of this in all the tanks with the fish. So we got the Celestial Pearl Danios in here, we got the reservoirs. We're gonna throw a good amount of that in there. Good amount in there. We're gonna throw some in here. And then for the Australian gold killifish, good amount in there too, because like I said, Howell has a swim bladder issue. She has a very hard time getting to the top, so I throw quite a bit in there for the meat. All right, let me show you guys this real quick. You can see the Magic Nano Feed going everywhere. These guys are absolutely loving it. They're starting to color up. Look at this. Amazing. Celestial Pearl Danios in here. They're still a little scared, but they're eating it as well. But man, these guys are tearing it up. Going crazy. And then you can see right in here, they're eating it up too. Awesome. Look at these Mexican dwarf crayfish. These things are so cool. So if you have a species of fish that is a little bit more aggressive and you can't keep with the little Neocaridina shrimp, Mexican dwarf crayfish are a pretty good option. They live well with guppies and all sorts of things. Just got to make sure the temperament's right. But these guys have been fine. Like I said, they've been I keep them with small nano fish, and they've been totally fine. And you can see in here, we got tons of babies in here. I got a bunch of coal shrimp, but man, these guys are super cool. I love the Mexican dwarf crayfish. They're a great option. I think people may end up finding a love for them here in the future because, like I said, you can keep them with bigger fish and they do really well. Or even nano fish, you can keep them with nano fish. But the fish that you can't maybe keep Neocaridina shrimp with because they're just too small and can get picked on, throw these guys in there and it works out pretty well. Look at these guys going ham. They love this food. They're so excited. So fun to watch. Look at that buried female right there. Bunch of babies. And look, you can see a little baby yellow, a couple baby yellow ones right there underneath the tail. Super awesome. You can see the blue shrimp looking at that. They love the calcium sticks. And then, once again, these guys are going crazy too. So man, they love the food. Here's the angels that we rescued the other day. They're hiding out. They're doing all right. So we're gonna feed these guys. But that is how I feed my shrimp and my tanks out here. All right, guys, that concludes today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give me a like and comment down below. What is your favorite nano shrimp or fish, or even dwarf crayfish, that can go in a 10-gallon tank? As you guys can see, there's all different types of fish and shrimp that we can put in them. And we're gonna keep expanding and get more and more different types, and I'm gonna be continuing to breed them out and should take you guys along the process. So hopefully the next video will be me successfully breeding these celestial Prodeneos, as they're pretty hard to get, and I would love to have some more of them. So we're gonna try and see if it works. And if it does, you guys will be the first to see it. Thank you guys. As always, if you want any nano fish or shrimp, go to 10gallonfishtanks.com. Also, go ahead and join the Nashville Fish Keepers. That's my Facebook group where we share photos of our tanks, ask questions, give tanks to each other for free, things like that. It's a positive community where we uplift each other. So don't bring any negativity. If you're a negative person, don't join the group, because we like to have fun. Thank you guys. As always, Fish Keepers, have a good rest of your weekend, and God bless.